Hey folks, welcome to the White Crow Roping Show, episode 15. A couple videos back I referenced an interview I saw where this lady was talking about coaching high-level musicians and athletes and having them lay on their back and go through the motions that they perform. And I said I would try it for a while and tell you what happened. So I actually went back and watched the interview, which I put a link to. I believe it was episode, maybe it was 13. But she actually said she would have, I'd forgotten a bunch of it, and what she said she would do is have people take their golf club or whatever it was, and she'd have them perform the motion while holding their head around to the right and around to the left, looking back. And then she would have them pull their head to the right but cut their eyes forward, so they're like I have my head back here and looking towards the camera or my target. And what she said that does is it somehow makes new connections in your brain fire and allows you to acquire a skill or emotion, or allows your brain to recognize and build that pathway quicker. Or I'm not sure how the science of it works, but I had to go out of town for a week and visit my grandmother, who's pretty old, and she's doing okay, but she's old. So we went to see her with my son, my wife, and I took my rope, and I wasn't able to take a dummy because we were flying. But while I was there, obviously I didn't have any horns to rope. I couldn't rope live steers, but I was able to practice that quite a bit, just picking up and swinging my rope, and I would do it a bunch of times with my head this way and that way, and kind of like how I mentioned lying on your back and trying it, which is not very easy. So there's not an easy way to do it. So I've been more focused on just that little trick of turning your head and trying to my understanding, basically drive it into your brain or make it easier. And it sounds crazy or stupid or something, but it really does work. And if you'll do that, pick up your rope and just turn your head over here and swing towards your target, and do that, and then do it with your eyes cut back, and it feels like rubbing your stomach and patting your head at the same time. But something about that really seemed to help. So I hadn't roped in probably a month. You know, it'd come a Noah's Ark flood here for a couple weeks, and I've been shooting a bunch of horses, didn't have time to do anything. So when I got back, I went and I left my horses with a trainer for the week to tune them up and someone to feed them. And I went back and roped with them last Friday, or this past Friday. And that first day, all I'd done was swing my rope and kind of go over in my head, just mental practice. And it was pretty wild actually, and I was pretty excited because it was like I was roping completely different. And I didn't rope perfect, but I was way better in picking my rope up when my horse left, and on the good loops I threw. I mean, it was completely different, and it felt like maybe it's supposed to feel. And I could tell I wasn't thinking about it too hard at the time, but I could tell I was doing something. I could tell I was doing way better and doing something, and swinging my rope and riding in a way that I basically had gone over my head, but had never put together in real life very much. And yeah, I did. Obviously, I wasn't perfect. I hadn't roped in a month, but it was pretty inspiring and pretty exciting to think that even just with mental practice and funny little tricks with your brain, you can make progress. And of course, the next day I went back and I was kind of beat up and tired, and I started following my old routine. And like the guy said, I was swinging more with my wrist. When I got tired and sore after not doing anything for so long, I went back into that. I don't know what you call that, but like he said, I was roping the dummy with a good open swing with my arm. But then when I got on my horse, half the time or more, I was just getting tight and swinging my wrist too much. So, but I know that this works now, and I'm going to keep doing it, and excited to see how it plays out and how much progress I can make quickly with this method of, I believe it's called the Feldenkrais Method of, I don't even know how to describe it. I'd have to go back and watch it again, which I probably will do because I got so much out of it the first couple times. But basically a method of challenging your brain and your muscles and nerve memory to learn something quickly and to have it really stick in there and change your brain to get out of old habits or basically get over ways of doing something that is not optimal for what you're trying to accomplish. So hope this has made some sense, and I hope if you're learning to rope like me, I hope you'll try that. You know, I don't know if I described it well enough, but if I didn't, go back to that other, I think episode 13, and underneath the video there'll be a link to where you can watch that interview, and if it works for high-level musicians and athletes, then I think it's going to work for learning to swing a rope and making it second nature. So this week I've got to catch up on a bunch of horseshoeing and do some work around the house, so I'm not going to get to rope like I want to this week. Hopefully I'll hit it real hard starting next Monday. But until then, I'm going to practice that every morning like I've been talking about. You know, rope my dummy for 20 or 30 minutes, and then at night I was thinking about what Ricky Green said in one of his videos. He roped the dummy 300 times in the morning and 300 times at night. And I'm not going to say I'm going to be that ambitious today or this week, but I'm going to try to count 150 good throws on the dummy every night and see how much progress I can make in a short amount of time. So I'll check back next week and let you know how it's going, and thanks for watching. Oh, and with this video I should be up over 1,000 views total on all my videos, and I know it's not much, but it's a milestone it's helping me to stay focused and motivated on making these, so I don't feel like I'm pissing in the wind and doing it for nothing. So if you are enjoying them, please go ahead, and if you're enjoying this series or getting anything out of it, I'd appreciate it if you'd go ahead and leave a comment below. Tell me what you like about it or don't like, and maybe I'll be able to make what people want, gain a little more traction, and hopefully inspire someone in some small way to, well, inspire someone to be the best they can be with what God gave them and really live their best life. So I know maybe that sounds ambitious or dramatic, but that's what I'm doing this for, and I hope you enjoy it. And like I say, let me know, and I'll talk to you next week, and thanks for watching.